Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. As some of you might be aware, my channel was involved in a recent controversy surrounding the indie game called For Fun. The developers of the game issued a false DMCA takedown of my video in order to attempt to hide the fact that their shit game was in fact shit, and that they were engaging in shady business practices. Now, it's worth noting that, as always, they failed utterly in their attempt, and all that happened to me was I occasionally had bouts of pause, as I did not want to garner too many DMCA strikes too quickly when dealing with developers of these kind. It brought about the interest of some larger talent on YouTube as well. Jim Sterling ended up doing a whole Jimquisition about the situation. Total Biscuit talked about this issue and some others on a 40-minute long discussion piece on his channel, and Leonard French, everyone's favorite copyright attorney, weighed in on this, as well as dozens of other smaller channels. All helped to spread the word and raise awareness about this game and its developers, and me, my mission complete for a time, went on to other videos while I waited for the DMCA to expire, as I knew that neither Dalas nor Dokey had a legal leg to stand on, and neither one possessed the necessary spine to be able to see the DMCA through and take it to court. But now it's expired, Dokey and Dalas. My video is back up, and you two have been exposed to a truly ridiculous number of people as the amoral, no-talent clowns that you are. So now you're going to sit there and fume with impunity while I say my piece, secure in the knowledge that you tried your best to shut me up, and you failed worse than you could have possibly imagined at that time. But first, a little backstory. A Spanish YouTuber with several million subscribers, Dalas of DalasGames and DalasReview, as he has multiple channels, purchased the failed Kickstarter game Yooka-laylee and renamed it For Fun. This game was immediately beset by controversy in other areas due to the exceptionally toxic behavior of its developer Dokey and even more toxic actions of now publisher and developer Dalas himself. And yes, I still think Dokey and Dalas still sounds like some kind of fucked up porno. Now, from the outset, Yooka-laylee had come under fire for its Kickstarter page being heavily influenced, and by influenced I mean directly plagiarized, from Yooka-laylee's Kickstarter page, some paragraphs matching word for word. And once Dalas came onto the scene, however, is when the true fuckery went into overdrive. Now, this YouTuber, whose videos can best be described as a gross violation of the senses or ocular and auditory cancer, has somehow managed to gain a massive following in Spain. His viewer base seems to be highly attracted to the random visual shifts, completely unbalanced audio, and its cringy as hell host, much like moths to a flame. He used that following to help promote his game via positive reviews on the Steam storefront page in return for giving out keys to the game on his channel. This deplorable review for key methodology has been the only thing keeping this game upvoted into the mixed category on Steam, and if it weren't for those Spanish reviews and all those in exceptionally broken English, the game's overall ranking would be at a very clear negative. In addition to that, Dalas and Dokey have engaged in discussion and comment thread deletion on their game's Steam page until, as I was informed by a source that worked at Steam, they were warned to stop, otherwise actions would be taken against them. A great many deleted comments were restored by Steam moderators, and Dalas has resorted to, instead of attempting to further delete comments to attempt to hide the truth, instead attempting to play the part of the good guy and innocent victim. Even after revoking review keys that were handed out to some Twitch streamers and YouTubers who failed to give the game a positive review, Dalas and Dokey issued DMCA strikes on at least 2 channels that we were aware of before he took down mine. Indeed, it was probably due to the fact that my Steam review still sits in the #1 spot with a link to my now restored For Fun controversy video that caused the DMCA to occur to begin with. Dalas has since stated on the Steam discussion threads that he was unaware of and not responsible for any DMCA takedowns. As part of the gambit to not jeopardize his YouTube channel, all of the DMCA takedowns were issued by Dokey's account and not Dalas's. Because, as cringy as the little twerp is, he's at least smart enough to realize that issuing a false DMCA can and will come back to bite you squarely in the ass if you have an account on YouTube. It's actually one of those times where YouTube's extreme dedication to looking out for good old #1 and throwing anyone else to the wolves mentality can actually do some good in the world. If Dalas had issued these DMCAs using his account, he would be the one looking at a channel deletion, because YouTube has absolutely no desire to be involved in any form of legal proceeding. In addition to that, there were the banjo-kazooie sound assets that were residing within the game's files until this whole controversy kicked up. They have been subsequently either renamed or removed from the game, but that doesn't change the fact that those assets were distributed as paid digital goods by Dalas and Dokey, which is still a crime. And all of this on top of the game just being bad. With countless glitches, game-breaking bugs, laughable design choices, and Dalas's cancerous voice blowing out your eardrums when the game starts, this game was not merely a chore to play, it was a punishment. It was so unbelievably and agonizingly painful and dull to play through that it could literally be used at Guantanamo as a method of torture. Of course, the UN would then get involved and force the US to return to merely waterboarding, as it is far more humane than forcing someone to play for fun, but that's politics for you. And the worst part, the absolute worst part, is that this came from a YouTuber. This came from a cringy little troll that should, beyond a shadow of a doubt, know better. DMCA strikes are the single most harmful and damaging thing that can happen to a YouTube channel. Its design was intended to help aid legitimate copyright holders in protecting their property. It prevents people from reposting movies and full songs unaltered, and people being able to monetize those videos and earn money off of the back of someone else's work. But shady developers have taken to weaponizing the DMCA system in order to silence criticism and consumer awareness on YouTube. It is the last resort of the truly pathetic, and in some instances, such as Dalas and Dokey, it is the first stop for the truly despicable. Fortunately, it rarely goes according to their plan. As Jim Sterling and Total Biscuit have proven, as YouTubers, we're stronger when we stand together against threats like these. No, it won't make the DMCA go away any faster, and it does nothing to legally protect the YouTuber whose rights have been violated by an automated system and a shady developer with an axe to grind. But what it does do is raise awareness. And the adage of there is no such thing as bad press does not hold true in the games industry. The widespread knowledge of what these pieces of scum, or in Dalas's case tuberculotic sputum, have done does indeed steer people away from buying their games. It is a common adage in the indie scene that holds true time and time again. Don't be an asshole. If you are, no one will be willing to give you money. But this situation is, for the moment at least, now over. I will continue to pursue legal avenues to see if it will be at least financially feasible to go after these two wastes of oxygen for what they've attempted to get away with. But such international lawsuits are insanely expensive. It is part of why these special types of filth typically limit these actions to smaller YouTubers, as we traditionally do not have the money to be able to pursue legal action in return. Nevertheless, we'll see what happens. For now, Dalas and Dokey have failed yet again, and even more people than I could have ever reached by myself have been warned away from ever purchasing one of their games. Let me know what you think about these type of things down in the comments. Also, please do like and share. Shout this out to the world everywhere, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Reddit, Vote, Instagram, and anywhere else. Let people know what these two no-talent clowns attempted to do to not only myself, but to multiple people. Make sure that no one you know buys their game. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. If you're new to the channel, it does help more than you might think. If you feel I deserve a little extra, please do feel free to throw $1 or even a few at my Patreon channel. Every little bit gets me that much closer to being able to go full-time. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and thanks for watching. I'm going to go back and do some actual reviews now instead of dealing with crap like these guys. It'll be nice. It'll be good.